Hey, yo, friends. How's it going? Welcome back. Brand new episode. This is 121, I believe, of In Madness Pod. Excuse me. Inside Madness, the in-between movie episodes. I'm Shawn the Butcher, here with Vertebrae 33. How the hell you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Shawn. I'm excited for this episode. I'm excited for everyone to take a ride with us today. I think
You
we got some
faded
treats.
you faded the hell out of your light. I was able to see you clearly before
Oh,
we
it got
started
dark?
talking, and then
Oh,
you faded your light out like Batman or something, and now I can't see your face. It's like I'm talking to a
how's
wall.
that?
It's
That's
even
even
worse.
worse.
It's
Yeah,
even worse.
there you
Thank you
go.
for
There you go.
joining what we like to call the Premiere Podcast. You can follow us on the socials at In Madness Pod at gmail.com, which is what we also call the mail sack. And occasionally we will dip deep. What up for the little doggy? We will dig deep into this mail sack. Make sure you check us out on YouTube right now.
Say hi to Nora, everybody. Nora, it's her first time on the podcast. You want to say anything to Uncle Shawn? Nothing? You nervous?
Vertebrae is hanging out with his adorable dog. We will post a picture of this beautiful creature on the In Madness socials.
Bye-bye.
We are dipping into the mail sack on this episode, reading your emails, talking about whatever the hell you want from the last 2.5+ years of the compendium of In Madness Pod. Like I just said, make sure you follow us on YouTube so you can see Vertebrae's dog. You're still dark, man. You got to crank that light up. I can barely see. What is going on here?
I just cranked it up.
Look at this. What is going on here? I want to see that face. Make sure
That
you
is
like
so
and
bright.
subscribe and comment and leave the 5-star reviews. I don't know what you did. I feel like you hit a different light bulb and like something went dark right before we started. It was crazy. Oh my God. Now you got this tint on you. This is all visual bits on an audio podcast. Everyone's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, don't
And
swerve when you're driving your
yeah,
car.
if you're enjoying all of this banter, make sure you like and subscribe and comment, give the 5-star reviews. Check out the In Madness Spotify playlist. I'm going to get further into that in this episode. There have been some off-show additions that have been added due to DMs I have received that I will talk about soon.
Oh.
You want to quickly talk about this Amazon affiliate thing we got going on?
Oh, yeah. So we got an Amazon affiliate store. And you can go there. The link will be in everything that we do. And you go there and you could buy a book or a Blu-ray or a mug or collections about the movies we're doing. And, a little bit of that, for your donation, 10 cents a day or something. I don't know. But yeah, a little bit comes to us. We've gotten some clicks, but we haven't gotten any purchases yet. So I'm curious to see what happens if you actually do. But it's a way to kind of support the podcast. If you listen every week, if you listen from the beginning and you buy this stuff and collect this stuff, listen, I don't want you to buy something you don't want. But if you're listening every week, you're into this. And we're telling you, and I'm always buying the 4Ks when it just came out.
Is the Mortal Kombat Blu-ray available in our Amazon link?
Shawn, one tier streamed down my cheek as I added that to the store because I felt like I was doing a disservice to the public by providing that link to people to purchase. Absolutely. But I did put that there. And no, but seriously, anything we talk about on these episodes, we're going to add it. There might be other random things if we happen to talk about other random things as well.
Happy In Madness Monday, if that's indeed when you're listening. Somehow, by the graces of whatever Dark Lord, we have managed to drop a friggin' episode every single Monday for the last over 2 years, miraculously. So make sure you spread the madness. Tell everybody you know about this godforsaken show. And if you want to represent for us, get shirts, get mugs at inmadness.com. It'll bring you to Vertebrae's site. There's a little droppy downy menu that says,
yep, we got our own category there.
Click there and you will check out all of our amazing gear. We got the eyeball tentacle, the milking of the alpacas shirt for them really deep cuts. And what mug do you have for this week's Inside Madness?
So, Shawn, for this episode, I have one of those mugs that looks really cool, but it ends up being very cumbersome to actually drink from. Oh, great. Cumbersome.
That's already on the In Madness.
Okay. Shoo. It's a big K2SO mug from Rogue One, but it's massive and very difficult to drink from. But it's a whole head of that droid. So
I
we made
love
her.
when you make these like real quick, like you did it a bunch in our Mortal Kombat episode where you make a ton of these quick Star Wars references, and throughout
Yeah,
all of them, I'm like, who the fuck is he talking about?
exactly. Yeah, well, if you know, you know, right? But I can't help it. Unfortunately, it's just, sometimes I'm a fountain of
No,
useless
that's what I
knowledge,
need
Shawn.
because I'm gonna make equally as many Simpsons references that I'm
Right.
hoping you're like, what the hell?
And Shawn, we talked about this, I think, briefly, but my daughter has been down a Simpsons path
I
big
love it.
time. And so I spend time with you where you do that. And then I spend time with her where randomly something will happen in life. And she'll be like, hey, there was this episode on The Simpsons. And I'm like, oh my God. When eventually we get the two of you together to talk about Simpsons, this is going to
She's
be
turning
amazing.
into me every time. My fiance, I'll say some shit and she'll just look at me and be like, "Is that from The Simpsons?" I'm like, "You
Mhm.
damn right." It's always some
Yeah.
weird ass, wacky ass statement. I'm very excited for this week's Inside Madness. We have a lot
Mhm.
to talk about, and because it's an Inside Madness, we're trying not to talk about it for very long since we give you constant hour plus episodes every single week. We try to keep these Inside Madnesses maybe a little bit shorter, but we got a lot of things to talk about quickly.
Mhm.
Quickly, I want to say rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne,
Yep.
the Prince of Darkness, the first head on the Mount Rushmore of heavy metal. I don't know who the other three are, but the first one right there is definitely Ozzy. I am honored to be the voice of Ozzy's Boneyard on Sirius XM, and my to be a part of like this thing that was done immediately once the news dropped. We had, Jose Mangan, who's like the metal ambassador, on taking phone calls, talking to people, connecting with people, mad emotional. The outpouring of love on the socials, from myself included. Ozzy is just like universally loved, and the fact that he played his final show two
Yeah.
weeks before passing away is insane, and it's like an epic send off for the dude. And we're a heavy metal slash hip hop slash comic book slash movie, all forms of art are included on this podcast. And yeah, we're definitely going to add some Ozzy and some Sabbath.
Oh, yeah.
So can I throw you under the bus right now? Do you
Uh-huh.
have a favorite Ozzy and a favorite Sabbath song off the top of your head?
Oh my God. There's so many Sabbath songs. It really depends on the moment you're in. Um, I mean, everybody goes to all the big ones, but there's a couple. Man, you did put me on the spot,
Yeah,
Shawn.
and I hate that because
I am so bad with song
yeah,
titles, and
I
I'm
hate it.
also, in this case, sometimes I'm bad with what was Ozzy and what was Black Sabbath, right? Because he had such a prolific,
Yes. We're gonna
career
add.
unto itself. Like
I'm gonna
Mr.
let.
Crowley is a song. That's an Ozzy song, though, right?
Yeah,
Not a Black Sabbath song
correct,
that I
correct.
absolutely love. Fairies Wear Boots. We talked about before when we talked about Paracelsus on one of those episodes. Remember, I had that book with the, I'm
And you
changing the light
you
bulbs on your
titled it
desk.
"Fairies Wear Boots." Yes,
Yes, and I titled Fairies Wear Boots.
I think
So
we then added that to the
I
playlist.
think we did. But, Ozzy, we talked about it when the concert happened, and I was kind of like, I was on the fence about that concert because I felt like I was hoping that it wasn't Ozzy being exploited in any way, right? Because there's a machine involved in these lights are crazy right now, Shawn. Look at this. I don't know what's happening. There's a machine involved in what he's doing after it becomes a certain point, right? And I was concerned that you're going to have him come out there and he's not going to be in any shape to perform. And really what ended up happening was something magical, because the dude performs and he gets to see everybody, and it really becomes a send off to him, right? So the timing of that is just incredible. And I don't think you can overstate his influence and Black Sabbath's influence on the history of heavy metal at all. Like I can remember hearing Iron Man when I was a little kid, and somebody had it on a turntable, and I can just remember, you go through all his phases, and I think for a lot of like regular people, meaning like not people who are so into metal and stuff with us, when he hit that sort of, what was that, the like the reality TV
TV show, The
phase,
Osbournes.
we were kind of like,
Yeah, people were like, "Oh,
okay,
this guy does music."
But
like
like I think he became a character and he played into it a lot and he was, and rightfully so. But I think you can't take anything away. It's you can't even say it with more than this, but for him for what he did to music and how many bands they I mean, Black Sabbath is the number one heavy metal band that anyone mentions when they talk about anything metal. It's always from any type of metal, they're going to mention it. And I think it's just, it's sad and it's a part of our lives that's we're gone, right? And that people won't know that. Like people will discover him now as it's already been in a yogurt commercial or something, right? Rather instead of sort of and Shawn and I are old enough to discover that purely from the beginning. We're not saying we are, but I think we did see it more in its infancy before it became like a household thing. And Shawn, I just got back from a quick trip, and I'm walking down this sidewalk with my roller bag, near the airport, and the wheels were hitting the sidewalk, so they were going dun dun dun
dun,
dun
dun, dun,
dun,
dun.
and like in my head, I'm like I like
I.
right, like it's like yeah, and I think I would have done that even if he hadn't passed, but it was certainly on my brain at that time, and yeah, I mean, I think we could just and drop a cavalcade of Black Sabbath and Ozzy stuff. It's Fred to have that career and then to have that solo career off of that, which takes him to even these bigger heights, and then have people like Zach Wild and stuff like
Randy
spawn off
Rhodes,
of Randy
yeah, and then
Rhodes.
just but like all the bands he brought out on tour with him, like every
Yes.
single band, and he was just like he was the ship that helped raise all other ships,
And Ozfest, right? Obviously,
and
Ozfest is
Ozfest.
huge, and he's bringing everyone out. And many, many years ago, Shawn, I went to an Ozfest up in Massachusetts, and we were lucky to have passes, so we were in the back. And so I'm just wandering around everywhere. When I get in places like that, where I mean, just like see everything you can see while you're here, right? You might run into somebody and talk to a bunch of people. And there was at the Tweeter Center, I think it's called in Massachusetts, and there was like this sidewalk that kind of went up in the back. The buses are parked there, and that weaved its way up to kind of the stage area. And all of a sudden, they start clearing the sidewalk. Now it's about 4:30 in the afternoon, so Ozzy's and Sabbath are going on last. Which will be 10, 11 o'clock at night. And here comes Ozzy off the bus, fully made up in full Ozzy makeup, shirt with the tassels, and he's just walking like this with his arms out and the tassels down, and they clear the whole sidewalk, and he just walks in front of me as he goes up the sidewalk, and I was like, wow. And I remember I was like, well, I have this pass. I wonder how close I can get to the stage when Ozzy's playing. So he's on stage later. I end up getting like pretty close. And I'm like, okay, it's right there. Like I can see where I have to go. And right when I'm ready to go, this massive security guard steps in the way. And I was like, oh, I have this pass. And he's like, that doesn't work for Ozzy.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. The headliners always have their own pass.
Yeah. He's like, nobody goes on stage for Ozzy. And I was like, Sharon? And he goes, nobody goes on stage.
Sharon, like you're a member of the fucking family. That's great. Yeah, no, I was lucky enough to meet the man a couple times, being like the voice of the channel and actually like
cool.
working on the channel for years. I posted the picture on my socials. I reposted it on the In Madness socials. He was always cool. I think I met him like 3 times, and it was really quick, just like a quick interview thing, whatever. But yeah, just great dude, and he will be missed, and we will, support his legacy on the In Madness Spotify playlist and on this show as well. Really quickly after Ozzy, I want to shout out San Diego Comic-Con because it is popping off all over my goddamn socials, and all of the things I'm seeing are absolutely amazing. Godzilla, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collaborations. They showed the first episode of Alien Earth over there.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm seeing cool just action figures and all this like amazing stuff. I love San Diego Comic-Con. Have you seen anything yet?
Well, I haven't really seen a lot from San Diego Comic-Con, but our friends at Mischief Toys decided to go to San Diego Comic-Con, but neither Chris or Heather like to fly. So those crazies drove to San
Whoa.
Diego. And they
Whoa.
kind of did videos every day, literally from the car. Chris is driving and they're
Whoa.
talking about what state they're in, and you kind of see their course.
That's
I would check
great.
out mischieftoys.com and follow them on the socials. I think it's Gasselcast is their YouTube channel where you see videos. So they
Check out our interview with them on In Madness podcast.
absolutely, and they have a presence there at San Diego. So they don't have a booth, but their pictures just keep coming up where they're with these people from Funko and these people from Thrill Joy and I think it was cool. I actually, inside baseball, I text Chris and I said, listen, you got a long ride back. Maybe it's a good time to dive into that back catalog of In Madness. And I sent him the podcast link. And I was like,
Smart man.
let's see how many states he can put up with us in, but yeah, I thought that was crazy, but like what a story, and kind of cool how they're sort of like video, vlogging it or whatever as they go along and checking in every night. That was pretty neat. But yeah, I have to dive into some of the stuff. I haven't had a chance to look and see what's
The
out there.
coolest thing I have seen from there, I posted the first 5 seconds of it on my socials. Beavis and Butthead are coming back.
That's awesome.
I loved the show as a child.
Wow.
It is very nostalgic for me. It hits me kind of like the same way Mortal Kombat does.
Mhm.
They put out new episodes on Paramount Plus,
Yes.
and I watched them, and they are phenomenal. I was sitting in my living room cackling like I was 13 years old once again at the same jokes, at the same okay, and just like everything is so funny. And then the first 5 seconds of this, it is Metallica on stage performing, and Beavis and Butthead, I guess in this episode, are billionaires. They probably become crypto billionaires in an episode or something.
Mhm.
And they stop, and Beavis is like, how much to buy Metallica? And the voice of frontman James Hetfield is like, Beavis and Butthead, I love you guys. And they throw a
Nice.
brick of gold in his face. It is so goddamn funny.
So they have a new season that
They have
dropped
a
because they
brand,
had a season
so
on Paramount Plus.
yes, they had a season on Paramount Plus. They are putting out a brand new season, I think the beginning of September. The
Nice.
commercial said it was phenomenal. So I'm sure if you haven't seen it by now, if you're listening, go check out the trailer for the new season.
Oh, I gotta check it out.
Butthead, and also King of the Hill is dropping like any second now. The new season. I love King of the Hill. I didn't get it when I was a kid, but as an adult, I like. Hank Hill is one of the on the faces of my like Mount Rushmore of great characters in history. So
And
I can't wait
so
for the new
Shawn,
season.
everyone's wondering who's watching us on YouTube and watching me fiddle with these lights over and over again and have listened to us at all. If we're Beavis and Butthead, who's Beavis and who's Butthead?
I've always been a Beavis guy. I've always
Uh-huh.
figured I feel like I'm the one in the Metallica shirt and you're the one in the AC/DC shirt. I feel like that just kind of
Yeah.
but I don't know. I feel like I'm a little bit of both, but
Yeah.
definitely even in junior high school and high school, I had the Beavis Halloween mask, which I think I just threw out a couple of years ago.
Oh, come
Because
on.
it was just completely like disintegrated.
Mhm.
And I was like, I can't have this anymore.
Mm.
But so shout out to San Diego Comic-Con. Everything I've been seeing from there is amazing. All right, we got like one more thing to cover, and then we can wrap our episode of Inside Madness.
So before we do that, let's
Go ahead.
just tease the next episode. Potentially is going to be a big interview episode for us. We're locking it down. We're flying by the seat of our pants on this, but we think we got it locked down, and it'll be the next one. So very excited for this. It's a person we've mentioned on the podcast before. Should I give one hint, Shawn?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So it's an author. We'll just say it's an author. So we're having another author on, and it was a big deal when we had John Langan on the first time, and this is just as a big deal as that. So very excited for that. And then after that, Shawn, is Reservoir Dogs.
Correct. Well, I mean, I was gonna tease
You're
that,
gonna
but I mean,
tease it?
yeah, but I
Oh,
mean,
I just killed it. I just ruined it. You see what happens when I drink too much coffee out of this K2SO mug?
and then after that will be a pick of vertebraes since
That's what I'm
I
saying.
punished him
Yeah,
for
that
Mortal
after that
Kombat.
is torture Shawn episode.
I mean,
So
just please keep it at like a 2-hour movie. Just don't murder me.
there's a part of me that was like, I want to pick something that's just like I want to go back and listen to old episodes and try to find all the things that irritated you from the movies that I like so much and see if I can find a movie that has every single one of those in there. And then I was like,
All blended into one.
I don't want to waste episodes on stuff that you hate. But I think you're pretty open minded. So, but unfortunately for me, Shawn, it's probably not going to be anything wild because the stuff that I really, really love is well over 2 hours long. So we
I
can't do that
mean,
right
at
now.
like
We can't
two and
do
a
that
half
right now.
at the most, for God's sakes.
No, we can't do that. I won't do that to you right now, Shawn. Not right now. I promise.
But that's a couple weeks from now. So yeah, we got an author coming on. We're doing Reservoir Dogs from Michael Madsen.
Now that I ruined it, I apologize.
And then we're gonna do a vertebrae movie. But for now,
Mm-hmm.
shall we dip into the mail sack?
Mail sack.
Out of the millions
Mm-hmm.
of emails, we are blindly dipping deep within the sack, tentacles in there, suctioning to my hand and whatnot. I've
Oh
got
my.
one here from our buddy Tom Henderson,
Okay.
the In Madness email OG.
Uh-huh.
He is a veteran in the mail sack.
That's
What's
right.
up, Tom Henderson, the AO, Dr. Butcher, and Vertebrae?
Hmm.
First of all, absolute home run on the Jaws episode. Oh,
Hmm.
this one's been sitting in the mail sack for a little bit, I think. One of the greatest films of all time covered by the premier podcast was nothing
Love
short
it.
of gold. Great work as always. In fact, it seems like the In Madness team always rises to the occasion for the biggest movies. Alien, check. Halloween, check. Exorcist, check. Lucy, check. And now Jaws. That's what's up. I'm
He
writing
put
you.
Lucy in there.
Hell yeah, he did put it. It's right here. He put Lucy in the email. I'm writing you today with a gnarly bit and an answer to Vertebrae's question, sort of. All right, ready?
I'm ready.
First, the gnarly bit, the cool zoom effect on Chief Brody that Shawn mentioned in episode 116 is called the dolly zoom. It was basically invented by a cameraman for the Alfred Hitchcock classic Vertigo. Shawn, I'm glad you saw Rear Window. It's incredible. I hope you will check out Vertigo, which I feel is even better in my opinion. Okay. Now he goes to Vertebrae. Second, Vertebrae asked if anyone remembered their first time seeing Jaws. Honestly, I can't. As a child of the 80s, it was part of our lives. It always on at WPIX and HBO. I remember those days. While I can't recall my first viewing, I did recently show this to my 15-year-old daughter for the first time, inspired, of course, by the podcast. It was so cool to watch her on the edge of her seat the entire time and to experience the ride for the very first time. She absolutely loved it and proclaimed immediately afterwards that was such a bomb movie. Great. Which is Teenager 4. That was really good. Thank you, Tom. Anyway, thanks for covering Jaws because it probably wouldn't have shown it to her at all. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Look at us putting kids in madnesses for the children. I like
That's
that.
right. We just ruined all of Tom's future vacations because there were any beach locations are out the window now.
Now it's kind of like our film as she
nice.
has asked to watch it again.
Wow.
In Madness Pod, bringing families closer together.
Oh, absolutely. We still have say the joke for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the house. The fellow chucker, eh? That's like ever since we watched that movie, it comes up all the time.
I love it. See, wait till she starts blasting out Mortal Kombat quotes.
No, that's been banned from my
Lastly, Tom says, Charlie, if you can hear this, I don't know if I'm going to read this. I may just throw this in the In Madness incinerator.
Charlie.
He says, stay strong, Charlie. I have deposited money in your commissary for snacks. I hear the walking tacos are delicious. I'm working on a plan to get you out. I'll bust you out as soon as I get a cocktail dress and a crowbar. # free Charlie. Love you both. Thanks for everything. In Madness fucking rules from Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Tom, you rule.
You rule. That's an incredible email. Thank you. And Shawn, look at that. because of us covering a movie, he's now listening to that, watching that movie with his daughter.
This is the purpose of this podcast.
This is why this podcast happened. If you're
Yes.
watching on YouTube, Sean's having an ear problem right now.
Don't look at me. Just keep
Don't
talking.
look at the guy at the bottom of the screen right now. Don't look at you're there though.
We got another email here from Hunter Higgins. Ready? It's a short one. He says, Steven Spielberg and the many questions concerning him. What up, Vertebrae and Butcher? Jaws is awesome. Where does it rank among all of Spielberg's films? What are your Spielberg movie power rankings? What is your favorite among his work? Also, I know you both perhaps dabble in the realm of video games. I have been playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, a game that released about 6 months ago, and it is 10 out of 10 so far. If you're into indie, you have to check it out. What are the chances Dr. Jones getting a review on the In Madness podcast someday? I know you both have spoke highly of Temple of Doom in the past. Keep kicking ass, guys. Your pal, Hunter Higgins.
Indiana Jones film? Absolutely. Absolutely. I even have the score. I got a making of book somewhere. I got the score on vinyl. Spielberg movie, Sean.
Hit me. Jurassic Park. Boom. Hit me. E.T. Boom.
Jaws.
Hit me.
Let's
Jaws.
go through the whole thing as they go
Boom.
along. Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 1941. I think is an underappreciated film. Have you not seen that with John Belushi? Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's a comedy, 1941. Raiders of the Lost Ark. E.T. Poltergeist. Twilight Zone, the movie. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, The Color Purple, Goonies, Empire of the Sun, Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade, Hook, Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Amistad, Saving Private Ryan, AI, Artificial Intelligence. I'm skimming now. Minority Report, Catch Me If You Can, phenomenal movie. War of the Worlds, Munich, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
So
yeah,
good.
yeah. Ready Player One.
Make that be your movie. Make
The
War of
Fablemans.
the Worlds your movie.
You can't do that, Shawn. You cannot do that. It's not my movie if you're picking it. But yeah, I mean, that's listen, there's a book to go along with it. You know how much I love the books. So I think it's hard for me. I'm not a big ranking guy. Not at all. I think I love a lot of his films for different reasons. I don't think it's fair for me to put Saving Private Ryan in the same category as E.T., right? Type of film. Close Encounters of the Third Kind is a weird film, and it'd be interesting to do that down the line. But I think E.T. would probably just have everyone crying. They would just be crying the entire.
I couldn't do E.T. I love E.T. I just could not. We could not cover that movie.
Yeah.
Dipping back into the mail sack, we got a couple more here. Ready? Okay, we got our buddy Thomas Cops 2 with a little bit of a long one. He says, hey guys, looks like this will either be wicked late entry to the mail sack or wicked early. Couple of comments. First and foremost, love Jaws. Everyone's loving Jaws. Great movie, great episode. If you haven't checked it out yet, listen to our Jaws episode. He says, besides The Crow, which I had the privilege of seeing in the movie theater last night as I type this. Wow. This was the most excited I was for a review. Great. I hadn't seen Jaws in 35 plus years till I saw it in 3D a few years ago, and since I have revisited at least 10 times. Watching with more mature eye, I really got to enjoy its brilliance, and watching you guys listen to the Quint Indianapolis speech on YouTube is a top 5 in madness moment. Hell yeah. Side note, not to be a movie smarky McSmark pants, but Robert Quint also killed it as Longan in The Sting, one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, The Sting.
Well done, boys. Also, not to be more smarky, but was wondering if you guys noticed Alfred Hitchcock's cameo in Rear Window. Yes, I did. Love that he did that and started that craze of directors' cameos. If you didn't, I will drop it in YouTube comments when this drops. Thank you.
Thank you.
Real quick, saw Stephen Graham Jones's Buffalo Hunter at the bookstore. Was so tempted, but I need to put a dent in my to-be red milk crate, but it's on my radar.
Incredible book. Absolutely incredible book.
Now, for the main event, I was working my side job, suplexing furniture at our local MLB stadium the night of July 4th. It was just me and the security guard in the whole stadium, so I thought I would rock out to the In Madness playlist over my Bluetooth speaker. I hit shuffle, and luckily the Halloween theme came on first. Then next, the 1812 Overture, which I think I put on for Hans Gruber.
No, for V for Vendetta, no?
Oh, was that what that was? That was
Yeah.
yeah. I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Yeah.
At the
That was
end
for
when they
V
have
for
the
Vendetta.
explosions.
Yes.
Yep.
So here I am by myself, 12 stories high in an empty stadium, blasting the 1812 Overture while
Fantastic.
fireworks are going off all over town. I have a bird's eye view of it all. It was fucking surreal and something I will always remember. Thanks to you guys, In Madness podcast, making everlasting memories.
That's fantastic.
I
That's a
appreciate all
great
the content. Keep up the ass kicking. And if you start a Patreon, Tom Cops 2, aka Tom the Bomb, aka Mott Spock, aka High Five Tom, aka, and then he ends his email.
That's awesome. And Shawn, that's incredible listening to that while you're watching fireworks all over the place. But like the icing on the cake was, he said, all by myself. That was like, oh, there's that extra bit right there.
So
That
good.
just pulls everybody in. But no, that's incredible. I love how much everyone participates and how they get into it, and the playlist too. The playlist is just incredible. I would listen if you want to listen to it as it goes along. You follow kind of the episodes. You see sort of. You can tell what episode we're on by the music if you listen to it. But putting it on shuffle, man, you're going on a wild ride because you could back up. You could Wolves in the Throne Room could be backed right up into
Cameron from his hip hop record "Come Home with Me" with the Exorcist beat in the background.
Exactly. What are you doing here, Shawn? What's going on?
We have Dos Mas. Are you ready? We have two more
Two?
emails. Yes, two. Out of the
Wow.
millions, I am picking out two more from the mail sack. We have
Okay,
our
let's
buddy
go.
David Ferreira.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how I say his last name?
That was beautiful. Perfect.
Okay. He says,
rules.
here's another voice note from your boy Psycho Ninja 47 regarding Mortal Kombat. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let me know if you can hear this.
I can.
Yo, what up? What up? In Madness Pod fam. This is your boy, Dave, aka Psycho Ninja 47, with another voice note. Got to share my thoughts about this classic movie that you guys just reviewed. That movie.
Okay, hang on. I'm telling you right now, this is a very, very long voice note. So I'm just going to let it run and we're not going to stop it unless we have to, but we'll comment as we go.
Being 1995's epic Mortal Kombat, being that it is a ninja adjacent movie, just like Ninja Turtles 1990. I, Psycho Ninja, the ninja expert, I got my certification online at the VRI.
Hell yeah!
I feel like I got a couple of cents that I wanna share.
I want to hear this.
About this classic movie, this classic video game movie. On the topic of video game movies, real quick.
Yes.
A lot of them are whack.
Yes.
A lot of them are dog shit.
Agreed.
But Mortal Kombat is up there.
Mm-hmm.
Believe you me, it's up there. Top 5 at least.
Okay.
Top 3. I would put it top 3.
Okay.
There's not a lot of video game movies that hold up.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat 95 is definitely one of them.
Okay.
I would say the recent Super Mario movie
was good
from a couple of years ago is pretty good. The Sonic ones are pretty entertaining. The ones that have been coming out lately. But yeah, Tomb Raider, Resident Evil, all that shit. The original Super Mario, the live action one, that was straight dog shit.
Okay.
But not Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat holds up. Street Fighter, holy shit. Talking about fighting games, Street Fighter, the movie sucks ass. Raul Julia is the only redeeming part of that whole movie.
Bison.
And it's really only because of one line that he spits in the whole thing. Look that up. But other than that, Mortal Kombat, let me tell you about this movie, man.
Please.
I had a conversation with a friend of mine recently. We were talking about movies, and I brought up Last Dragon.
Okay.
The Last Dragon, with Bruce Leroy up against Show Nuff and his goons.
Okay.
This is an 80s classic. It's like martial arts with blaxploitation, with old school hip hop vibes. It was just a huge part of my my childhood. Now my friend, he's a little older than I am. He's from a previous generation. I don't age shame. I don't call people boomers just because he was just born at a different time, is into different things. I would say he's probably, vertebrae. I'm not trying to call you out, but I think he's around your age, maybe a little older. So I told him, this was a huge movie in my childhood. And he went and saw it recently, and he came back to me and he said, yo, bro, this movie is whack. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, think about it. Is it great, or were you 8?
Shut up.
And that hit me, right?
Asshole.
So I'm thinking, like, man, when I'm reflecting on these movies and TV shows and all this stuff that I thought was amazing in my childhood, does it really hold up? Was I just an 8-year-old watching these things, just with that childlike wonder, thinking everything is great, and then you watch it with, your 2025 eyes, and it doesn't really hold up.
I disagree.
I gotta say, with Mortal Kombat, it's a little bit of both. It doesn't hold up, but it still holds the fuck up. This movie, I had such a great time watching this movie. I got to clarify something, Mr. The Butcher. You called me out and said that I was ragging on you, that I was dragging you in the DMs. I was not. That was not the intention. I love this movie. For the good, for the bad, this movie was so much fun to watch. I was watching it on my phone. It's on Max. All the Mortal Kombat stuff is on Max. I was watching it on the phone during my commute back and forth from work. And I was cackling like a hyena on the train watching this shit. This shit had me. I looked like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker when he starts having those laughing fits because of his, his brain injury and shit. Like, that's what the fuck I looked like watching this movie.
David rules.
I was having such a great time because this movie, for all the things that are great about it, holy shit, there's a bunch that is not. I just want to share real quick some of my pros and cons.
Yes.
First of all, that opening song, the classic Mortal Kombat theme song, I agree with Mr. The Butcher. This holds up against any John Williams theme, the Superman theme, Star Wars. Fuck all that.
That is
the Mortal Kombat. When that song comes on,
you get hyped.
I remember me and my friends, we bought that album. We bought that shit, and we would play Mortal Kombat for hours and hours on end with that one song on repeat. Then we would wrestle each other, and we would come out to that song like it was our theme song, like the fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like when you hear the glass hits your ass, but when you hear Mortal Kombat, we all that. Like we were like obsessed with Mortal Kombat. Big thing is, right, so Ninja Turtles came out in 1990. I was 8 years old, right? Ninja Turtles is a great introduction to martial arts and ninjas and fantasy and all that stuff, right, that I was into. Then just think about it. 5 years later, when I'm 13 years old, this movie comes out. So it was a cool little graduation, a more mature style of martial arts film and action and fantasy. There's blood, there's guts, there's gore. So you gotta love Mortal Kombat for that. But the movie was smart not to have the gore. Correct. We actually felt like we didn't miss it.
Correct.
We noticed that it wasn't as gory and violent as the video games were, but I think that was smart because that made sure that more people went to go see it.
Facts.
Right? Because you're not going to take a little kid to go see a movie where people's hearts are getting pulled out of their chest.
That's what Spielberg would have done.
Yeah,
love the music, the set designs. Holy shit, bro! Every single scene looked fucking amazing. You cannot tell me that they did not go in with the set designs, all the arenas, all the banquet halls where Goro's tossing people around. The beaches, I think they filmed in Thailand. I looked it up. They filmed in Thailand. Just imagine you sitting there with your lady on the beach, drinking some pina coladas, throwing the frisbee around with your kid, and 10 yards away, there's a guy getting his heart pulled out of his chest and shit. Like,
nice. That's a
sign me up. I want to go to that resort. That sounds like a good fucking time. The storyline, it's basic. The Chosen One fights a bunch of goons in karate fights, kills the emperor at the end, gets the girl. I mean, that's just basic. That's basic fucking storytelling right there.
Journey.
Was not mad at it. It was just like the video game come to life.
Yeah,
not mad at that at all.
No heroes.
The cast. I'm a big fan of the cast. I think everyone looked great. Liu Kang looked like a fucking action figure come to life. The dude was ripped. He had the most glorious haircut that I've ever seen on anybody.
Vertebrae agrees with that.
I thought he was dope. Johnny Cage, he looked like a fucking douchebag. Like he played his part just right. What was her name? Veronica Voom Vaughn. Holy shit. Wasn't she like voted like one of the hottest women in the 90s or some shit, like through AOL dial-up or whatever? They used to do those fucking, top most downloaded women. Wasn't she like number 3 or some shit? I don't know. She was great as Sonya Blade. Gotta give props to Scorpion and Sub-Zero. Real quick, you mentioned that the dude that Liu Kang fights, the first guy that Liu Kang fights with the braids, he was part of WMAC Masters.
Yes.
That was my shit.
Yes.
WMAC Masters, for those that don't know, it was basically like a kid version of like Mortal Kombat crossed with WWE, crossed with
American
Power Rangers.
Gladiators.
These fantasy martial arts characters that would fight each other. They would fight a bunch of ninjas, and then they would fight each other in a final round on top of a platform. And if you fall into a pit, you lose. And people won fucking championship belts and all this shit. That shit was fucking dope. That one dude was in it. The guy, the stunt actor that was in Scorpion's costume, he was actually a character called Red Dragon. And for more connections to Mortal Kombat and Ninja Turtles and all this shit. In WMAC Masters, there was a guy named Ho Sung Pak, and he was the original model for Mortal Kombat, for the Mortal Kombat game. He was the original Liu Kang.
Sick.
And now he's in WMAC Masters, and he was the stunt double for Raphael. He was the guy in the Raphael costume in the first Ninja Turtles movie. During the fight scene. So all this shit is connected, bro. You could just imagine all this shit is connected. So yeah, I thought the cast was amazing. But it also goes into my cons. And that being fucking Christopher Lambert, French American thespian extraordinaire. Yes, he was the fucking Highlander. Played a fucking Scottish immortal swordsman, and now he was casted to play a Japanese god of thunder. As a person that, I'm a Latino, I'm all for representation. I want to see heroes that look like me, that look like anybody, really. Like, it's all about variety. You want to see different cultures and different backgrounds represented in all these stories and movies and TV shows and content. It's wonderful to see that, right? But we're talking about the 90s. We're talking about being a 13-year-old who just wants to fucking watch a movie about people kicking each other's asses, and not a single person batted an fucking eye when Christopher Lambert came out with his shitty ass fucking accent. It was like French, but he was trying to sound Japanese at the same time, but he's being worshipped by a bunch of like Tibetan monks. Like, none of that shit made sense, but we still fucking went with it. But yeah, he was the absolute worst character. His words of wisdom, none of that shit made sense. He all of a sudden, he's a fucking immortal god of thunder, and yet he can't fucking enter Outworld or whatever. Like, what the fuck is going on? That was stupid. Oh, real quick, the dude that plays Shang Tsung is a beast. He was fucking dope. He killed it. Yeah. Goro, loved the practical effects.
Hell yeah.
When they were there. But yeah, the dialogue was dog shit. That's another con. Nobody was making any kind of sense. Vertebrae 33, you mentioned that your wife screamed out water when fucking Katana did the little use the element that gives, like, the whole theater. I remember watching this shit in the theater, and the whole theater, all of us, screamed out water, use the fucking water to kill Sub-Zero. Stupid shit. The fight choreography, some of it is really dope.
Hell yeah.
Scorpion versus Johnny Cage, and Liu Kang versus Sub-Zero and Reptile. I guess that's pretty much all majority of the fights. I don't know. Some of it looked very like, Pee Wee League, karate class, you're getting your yellow belt type shit or
It's
whatever. I'm a nerd for
It's
karate
okay.
fights, for martial arts fights.
It's not
I grew up
2025.
watching Jackie Chan and all that shit, and Jet Li.
Yeah.
Used to
They
throw
couldn't
down.
even
Fuck,
fight
I
the
watch
Amity
Power
Kid.
Rangers. You could watch for what it is. If you just watch any of the fight scenes, the motherfuckers threw down. So Mortal Kombat was a little basic when it came to that shit. Otherwise, this movie was a ton of fucking fun to watch.
Agreed.
I loved it.
I agree.
I got to talk about my milking of the alpacas moment.
Please.
And it came during the Scorpion and Johnny Cage fight, right? Okay. So just imagine me and my friends, we went night one to see Mortal Kombat, right? We go into the theater, and as soon as you walked in, you had to, this is back in the day before Fandango or ordering your tickets online and getting your, reserving your seats and all that shit. No, we walked in. We got there early, super early, like an hour and a half, 2 hours before showtime. Luckily, we got tickets. We ran in to make sure we got the right seats or whatever. We got good seats. As soon as you walk into that theater, all you smell, because this is August of 95. This is literally 30 years ago. You walk into that theater and you are hit with this wall of swamp ass and weed, bro. Every teenage boy and every pothead video gamer in the fucking hood in Washington Heights decided to show up to the theater that night to watch this crazy ass movie.
Probably
the vibe in the theater.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm a huge wrestling fan, right? Anybody that knows me knows I'm a huge wrestling fan. I've been to a ton of wrestling shows, but I've never been to like a big WWE show, like WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, some shit like that, right? Never been to those. And I always wanted to go just for the crowd. The wrestling doesn't even matter. It's just the crowd, the energy, right? The vibe, you would have thought we were like at the fucking UFC World Heavyweight Championship main event. We were bugging out with every character that came out, every special move that they did. We were losing our fucking
bicycle
minds
kick.
throughout
Love the
this
bicycle
entire
kick.
fucking movie. I remember that shit like it was yesterday. The milking of the alpacas moment, the moment where we just like, okay, this movie is official, was when Johnny Cage defeated Scorpion and he hit him with the friendship. Mr. the Butcher has been talking about the fatalities and the babalities and animality, all these different types of finishing moves that they used to do. Like, Mortal Kombat 2, 3 had just come out in April that year. So they had already introduced these things. And Johnny Cage hit Scorpion with his friendship. And we lost our fucking minds because it was like, yo, we just learned about this shit and they put it in the fucking movie. Bro, like, this is fan service to the T. This whole movie was nothing but fan service. The way we collectively jizzed thine pantaloons when he fucking dropped the fucking autograph picture on Scorpion's scorched remains, like, to this day, is one of the greatest, like, cinematic experiences I've had. I think the only thing comparable to that was like when Captain America lifted Thor's hammer in Endgame and beat the shit out of Thanos.
Big pop.
Other than that, like, it was just, that movie's just a good fucking time. And I'm gonna just put this out there into the universe. Maybe it'll come true one day.
2 more minutes.
Mr. the Butcher, you and I one day will have to hang out.
Let's go.
We will indulge in some, broccoli.
Yeah.
And watch this movie and just cackle our fucking heads off.
I'm gonna enjoy it
because that is exactly what this movie is. The dialogue is bullshit. The logic makes no fucking sense.
I don't agree.
But it's just fucking amazing. I have so much nostalgia for Mortal Kombat. You talked about so much cool shit. The games, the arcade, the console games. There's again, HBO Max has all the animated stuff. Mortal Kombat Annihilation is straight dog shit. Don't watch it.
That's
it
what
doesn't
I'm
count.
saying.
The new Mortal Kombat movies, the last one that came out, it was pretty cool. I thought it was okay. But this new one that's coming out later this year looks fucking fantastic. I forget the guy's name that's going to play Johnny Cage. He's going to fucking kill it. Loved this movie for the good and the bad. I just want to end off with a question for you guys.
Okay.
If you guys were characters in Mortal Kombat, what would be your fatality? Right? Let's say the three of us were in the fucking Mortal Kombat tournament. Vertebrae 33, you're Biofreeze. Mr. The Butcher, you're Fire Guy. I'll be Beefy Boy. What is your fatality? What is your finishing move? I'll share mine real quick.
Okay.
When you hear Shao Kahn say finish him,
Yeah.
I'll grab the guy by the hands, rip his hands off, right? I will simultaneously, just in one move, rip the guy's hands off and at the same time kick the guy in the balls.
Okay.
Kick him so hard that his head pops off of his shoulders, right off his neck, fly up in the air, and as it's coming down, I'll take the guy's two hands and clap them together, squishing his head. There's blood everywhere, brain bits.
Amazing.
And just because Mortal Kombat, likes to throw in a little comedy, when the head explodes, the teeth and the eyes will land right on top of like your neck hole.
Amazing.
Like where like where you're standing, like your little geyser of blood coming out of your neck
Phenomenal.
hole. And boom, your teeth and your eyeballs will kind of just sit there. You win, fatality, flawless victory. That would be my fatality.
Hell
what would be your fatalities? I need to know. Yo, in Madness Pod.
Thank you.
Thank you again for reviewing another classic.
Love you.
And hopefully you guys enjoy this little review of mine. I know it's called an Inside Madness. It's still a 0.5 to me. Damn it. Okay, I don't do well with change. I lost count, so congratulations on 1,000 episodes.
Thank you.
And if it's not, hold this sound clip and chop it, copy and paste it for a later episode. Anyway, see you later, dudes. Bye.
Oh my Lord.
Fantastic.
I loved every minute of that.
So I was sold a bad bill of goods on that though, Shawn, because it seemed like, and from a message you sent me, that he was going to come in hot and destroy Mortal Kombat.
I read the In Madness DMs, and there was a comment in the In Madness DMs that was like, yo, Vertebrae, this movie is ass. And I was like, damn it. I thought that he would be on my side, and I was like, I guess he didn't like the movie, but I'm glad he loved like parts of the movie. That was an incredible voice, though. Yeah,
that's incredible. Listen, David's a great dude. I've known him a long time.
We got to have him on the podcast.
Amazing. We have to have him on. I think we'll, maybe we'll pick a few topics or something to discuss, or a few films. Yeah, but we definitely have to have him on. He's a good dude. Year after year, he would help me at Comic-Con, work the booth and everything. So loved hanging out with him there and talking. These are essentially kind of like conversations we would have about different things in pop culture, or some of the people walking by the booth when we're in it. But amazing. Thank you. Listen, I don't agree with like 95% of what you said on that voicemail, and that's fine. I don't have to. But I loved how happy Shawn was getting at those points, and he's got him in his corner and he's backing him up. So I will say, the most egregious thing is that we're gonna, dare say the name John Williams in the same sentence as the theme from Mortal Kombat. We will let that go.
So we don't have much time left. We're not going to get to the next voice note until our next Inside Madness. But really quickly before we go, do you have a fatality? Do you know what your fatality would be? I feel like mine would be something like eyeball related. Like I like the idea of just like pouncing and like fingers like directly.
But you're the fire guy, aren't you? The fire guy.
So I mean, does it have to be with like fire related? Yeah. So how about what is it? Please, Scott Ian always tells the story that he didn't know the word abassinate until he heard it in a Slayer song, and he looked up what abassinate is, and it's when like they pour like boiling molten lava into your eyeballs. So maybe that would be my fatality, is I abassinate you.
Huh. I don't know. I'm ice guy. I'm biofreeze, right? So maybe I just build a ice castle to keep everybody away from me.
Stay the hell. So in I think the third or second Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero, I biofreeze his friendship is he turns himself into a snowman.
Maybe I would show up at every party and just zap some people's drinks nice and cold and then disappear when nobody's. But that's like a friendship. Like I'm doing that. You guys are really into the friendships.
Yeah, so you got to do a fatality. Yeah, you got to do a fatality.
I mean, I would just probably, I guess, freeze them, right?
Yeah, freeze them and destroy them. I mean, that's kind of what he does already.
It does, but David's was very specific.
It was
you
very
know.
detailed. That's why I'm
I-
saying, like, I think we're limiting ourselves if I'm stuck as being fire guy and you're stuck as being ice guy, but Dave gets to be big boy and make up his own fatalities for whatever his special is. I'd much rather be just me, and then instead, like, I take like a million knives and I like chop you and I fillet you and then like put you in the pan like fucking Dahmer and stupid shit.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're cooking in the middle of this.
I
This
mean,
is
it's a
crazy.
fatality. Usually the fatalities are pretty crazy. So I feel like cutting somebody up and then like throwing them on like a grill and cooking, I think that'd be pretty gnarly fatality.
Okay. Wow, that was pretty oddly specific.
Yeah, I mean, it just, I'm figuring
Remind me not to go to dinner at Shawn's house.
Yeah. Don't eat the hamburgers. With that, that is a thrill. I mean, I didn't know that voice note was going to be 18 minutes long. Thank you, David. Thank you, everybody who hit us in the mail sack. This was a great episode 121. We have episode 122 next. Another Inside Madness, a very special interview, and we're going to get to our next movie after that. Till then, did you get all your bits and vertebrae? Are you good for episode 121?
I did, and I feel bad that we didn't get to the other voicemail, but
it's all right. It's all right.
We will
get there. We will get there. And with that, we will see you next week for episode 122 of In Madness Pod.